Okay, Fayetteville, hope you're doing well. This is Maine Johnson with the City of Fayetteville Corporate Communications Department. As always, what I try to do is make sure that we bring you pertinent information in a timely manner, and today is no exception to that. Today I have a special guest, Miss Michelle Haire. She's with the Economic and Community Development Department. She's actually an economic and community administrator, and she's here to tell us about the special program that's in place that was awarded by the City Council this week. But before we do that, Michelle, how are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you. Hope you are.
Doing pretty good. Could you do me a favor and tell me a little bit about what the Economic and Community Development does for the city and also what you do specifically?
Absolutely. The City of Fayetteville is very fortunate to receive two funding sources, federal funding sources from HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And with those resources, we're able to meet additional needs that the City of Fayetteville does not do on a regular basis. The target of that funding is low and moderate income persons or low and moderate income areas. So we have to meet a national objective. And so we're able to do a lot of outreach to the homeless community, to the small business community, for needed housing, affordable housing. So we have a large array of programs that this department is responsible for. And we feel really good about our results every year with that source of funding. What I do specifically, I manage the small business programs. For over 20 years, we have offered some type of loan or matching grant program for small businesses. Because the funding is limited, we may target certain areas more so than others, but we do reach out through the entire city limits to make funding available and not in competition with any other type of loans and programs that are out there. And also, I do provide a contact for the city. I'm the person they call to see, how do I start a business? Where do I go to get resources? So I have a great relationship with all the small business resource providers in the community to get people to where they need to go to start or expand their business.
Cool. And that's specifically why I wanted to talk with you today. I know that you guys help residents with everything from home rehabs to supporting other organizations that support residents in the community like Salvation Army, Habitat for Humanity. But specifically today, Council has passed an effort to try to help small businesses in the community, correct?
Correct.
And if you could give us a little information about what's going on with that.
Okay. Well, in addition to the seed bridge loan, the recovery loan that everyone's been hearing about, that I believe that was aired recently this week. In addition to that, we are also offering through our department a grant program. It's actually an existing grant program that we already fund. It's called the Small Business Retention Grant. And with that program, it's typically targeting certain areas, target areas within the city. And it's typically a max of 5,000. But we have actually amended that program specifically for COVID-affected businesses to assist with recovery. We are going to offer that program citywide. We have increased that max grant award from 5,000 up to 10,000. We have waived the match, so there is no requirement from the business to meet that match. We actually fund that, like I mentioned before, with the Community Development Block Grant funds. So we have identified $200,000 that's available in our current budget that we are starting to do intake now. So I started to roll out with applications yesterday.
Okay, so if there is a local business, and I know from our conversation before, this is specifically for local small businesses in the community of Fayetteville that are in Fayetteville, if they were interested in becoming or finding out what they need to do to become eligible, what are the requirements?
Well, naturally, be in the city limits of Fayetteville. And of course, if they're not, I did want to highlight that if you're in Cumberland County but not in the city limits, you can be referred to the county community development department. They also are offering a grant program up to $10,000. In addition to that, we are stressing the no duplication of benefits. That is one condition that HUD has required us to truly document, that if a business did receive other funding sources, such as the PPP, which is the Paycheck Protection Program to pay for payroll, we have to be able to document that we are meeting an unmet need with the grant. And so in addition to the payroll expenses, it could be the rent payments, mortgage payments they're past due on, or maybe help them get caught up on that or pay ahead so they can hire people back. It's just a variety of working capital expenses that we can consider for that.
Okay.
And since I mentioned this federal funding, we do have to meet the HUD national objectives. So that's where the low mod income benefit comes in. And with this program, it's businesses that either retain jobs, at least one full-time job for this particular grant award, or it could be a sole proprietor that is at 80% or below the area median. I have an income scale that I'll provide, and I can actually pre-qualify a business to see if they would qualify, meet that objective, because without meeting that objective, they won't qualify. And not all business types are eligible, and that information is also provided in the application packet. But one thing I did want to highlight, in addition to the payroll expenses and other things that we can use the grant funds for, we can also use it to repay the seed bridge loan. I'm encouraging businesses to apply for that seed loan that's up to $5,000 because they can get the money quicker. With this grant process, it can take up to 6 to 8 weeks, only because of the different steps involved in the process. But with the seed loan, they can get that money quicker, get their payroll done, get those people hired back, and then they can use that as an eligible expense to apply for the grant program and some other unmet needs.
Okay. And it sounds like you touched on this already, but just to recap, if you didn't, how long does the process take, and when will the funds be made available?
Well, I'm doing intake now, so I started sending out applications yesterday. So I've probably sent out approximately 22 applications so far. The grant approval process on our end is usually within a couple weeks. It might take a little longer because of the interest in the program, but getting approved is not a difficult process and not a long process. It's just the whole entire process and all as far as getting the process, getting the application process, getting it to the grant committee, getting the grant agreement signed. There's an environmental review process that I won't go into detail about, but it's just a variety of steps in the process that take time, and then to get that purchase order in place so that we could pay the grant award. That's why that bridge loan is being encouraged, because they can get that money faster, and we can, in the meantime, be working on the grant application and get that in place. So, and I did want to highlight that it's a first come, first serve application process. Anyone can call me to get pre-qualified. Like I said, when you submit your paperwork, it would have to be complete in order to begin the process. If it is not complete, I will notify you what I need, but it does not hold your place in line. It does not hold funding for you. I'll have to go into the next one, and they are being processed as they are received.
And I sincerely appreciate you sharing that information, that candid information, to let residents and business owners alike know that the process does take time. Even though we're in a situation right now where a lot of businesses are trying to work to connect the dots and get the resources that they need, we are going to help them as much as possible, but it is not going to be an instant check. We don't cut a check. It's a process that takes time. So the earlier they get in contact with you, the better it probably is for them receiving the funds, correct?
It is, and I will provide them a checklist along with the application. So it's a very easy process to follow. It may look overwhelming, but the small business should have a majority of that paperwork anyway, readily available. So, but I'm available to answer any questions. If they need some assistance, like I said, I can refer them to one of our resource providers to get that additional assistance. But yes, it is as simple, the process is as simple as I can make it, because these are federal fundings that have to have the documentation on file. But get that application in as soon as you can, because I'm very excited that we can do this, and please get it in as soon as you can.
No problem. So we're going to put this information out there so as many people know as possible. You've made yourself the point person. So how can they contact you if they wanted to get more information or figure out how to apply?
Okay. They can call me at 433-1590, or they can actually email me, which is preferred because my phone is ringing off the hook, as you can imagine.
Yes.
It's mhaire@ci.fay.nc.us. I can certainly email the application packet to you. If you do not have the ability to print off the paperwork, I can have packets available. I can mail it out. Whatever I can do to help you get that paperwork, I'll get that out to you. And I did want to highlight the SEED program again. If you're interested in applying for that, they have their application available online at www.ncceed.org. And again, if you're outside the city limits, but in Cumberland County, please contact the Cumberland County Community Development Department, and their number is 323-6 6112.
Well, Michelle, as always, it's always a pleasure talking to you. I'm glad I was able to finally get you on camera to speak on this, because ECD does so much for our community. And it's one of those things where you guys do so much, but it's so hard to describe, but it touches so many people and residents in our community. So we're thankful for that, and we appreciate the work that you guys do. As always, it was a pleasure talking to you, City of Fayetteville. Good information. As always, we want to share this information with you guys. If you have any questions, please watch this video again. We'll also include the contact information in the post text. Take advantage of this opportunity. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.